Yeah,
There it is.
there it is. Well, welcome. This is our vibe.
And welcome to the second official episode of Dare to Journey with the co-host, Travis Snyder.
Yes, please. Sit down.
Oh, we're having way too much fun with this here. So I just want to say a few things, actually. I'm grateful. I am so grateful of another day in this world. I am grateful of being able to have a roof over my head. I am grateful that I'm able to still connect and talk with my family. I wanted to start off that way. Those are some of the things that I'm grateful for. There's so many other things I'm grateful for too, but just wanted to top it off right. Travis, anything you're grateful for?
My family as well. You know, it's the holiday season. Both of us are going back home soon to New Jersey for you, Indiana for me. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to go and see family during this holiday season and loving this weather. It's 80 degrees today in December in Scottsdale. So
It's 80 degrees
can't beat
in
it.
Scottsdale. I mean, it was 80 degrees earlier. It's probably like 70 right now. Probably
Yeah.
75.
It's like 95
It's
in
still
this room.
warm. It's 95 in this room. I'm sweating bricks, by the way, but I'm from East Coast. We die with fashion, okay? But yeah, no. I really want to start it off that way, and this is our second episode, and our first one was just a more so introduction on what to Dare to Journey is. So welcome everyone that will be tuning in. Once again, my name is Ade, short for Ade Tokumba Oludare Thompson, but you can call me Ade. And we got co-host here, Travis Snyder. Awesome. Okay, so today, first off, Dare to Journey. Just so you all know what Dare to Journey is. It's about taking risk on your life on each day that we get the opportunity to wake up. We want to be present in all of the actions and the things that we're doing. Dare to Journey gives us the opportunity to live life and live to the fullest capacity of our best selves so we can feel liberated in a way where we are changing and becoming who we want to be. And that means we have a list of values that we follow, right? That we stay disciplined, we love one another, we have joy, we are vulnerable, and we're going to unpack a lot of these. But today, what we're going to discuss is, Travis, help me here. What was it?
I call them 8 areas of well-being or 8 areas of health.
Yeah. 8 areas of well-being. So we're going to talk very, high level, and then we're going to dive into the details. First off, what are some of the 8 areas of well-being?
Glad you asked. I have them right here.
Okay, let's go.
One of these are in no particular order, but physical health, of course.
Okay.
Emotional health, which also kind of goes with the mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Financial health.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual health.
Mm-hmm.
Professional health. Social health. Intellectual health. And environmental health.
Okay. Those are a lot to unpack. So let's just start off with the first one. And it sucks that noise is going off. You hear that beep? I think I've heard that beep like 30 times already. Beep, 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 beep. Like, I really want to turn it off, but there's nothing we could do about it. For now, this is, if you hear that sound in the background, please forgive us. This is our, beginning of our journey.
Beginning of the journey, that's right.
And we're getting adapted to just how to go about things, but probably we'll pick a different area next time. But anyways, physical health.
Yes.
Is that the first one?
That is the first one.
Oh my gosh. Physical health. First off, let me be honest. I hate going to the gym. I hate going to the gym.
But you go so often.
But I love the results. You know?
Yeah.
Trust me when I say I feel better. My looks look better. I last longer in bed better. I don't know if that's not even a sentence, but I could run miles without even, I mean, I have to break a sweat, but running 3 to 6 miles, I can clear that. I love the results. I'm addicted to the results, but I hate going to the gym.
So let me question you on that, because this podcast is called Dare to Journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I always preach with my people I coach, like, to fall in love with the journey
Mm-hmm.
and not just the results. You know, the journey is a lot of times more important than the results or the destination. A lot of times the destination is fleeting. You accomplish a goal, and then, you know, what's next? You know, the goal might be a short-term high or rush, but the journey, fall in love with the journey is important.
Yeah.
So tell me about your journey, and is there a way for you to fall in love with the exercise journey?
I think it's more of a lifestyle. I fell in love with the lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. But the physical activity of going to the gym, that shit actually hurts. Growing muscles, working on your abs, constantly running. You have to be in a mental state of being able to, you know, go through pain. You know, I've gone through pain my whole entire life. Now, physical pain, it's not that let me be honest. I have a certain rush for physical pain. However, going to the gym daily is it could be such a drag. But when I remember my why and why I'm being here, my goal is to have a long, healthy life. Mm-hmm. I'm in love with that journey, right? I'm in love. I don't even going to the gym and seeing all the women there, such a distraction, right? It's such a distraction. And sometimes I don't even want to go to the gym because I'm like, all right, mentally, I guess sometimes, you know, from a guy's perspective, I think my human nature comes into play where, there's all these women, and I'm like, and it's a natural biological thing that I'm naturally attracted to women, and sometimes that could be a distraction for me, and I'm aware of that. But once again, I've also just fell in love with the ability to work out, take care of myself, and be able to achieve the results of looking and feeling great, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how I actually do it, because, you know, I don't want to, you know, I get it, right? You got to fall in love with the journey. But the journey for me is just more so, it's the lifestyle of my health. Yeah. It's because I think, you know, let's be honest, if everybody, you know, in the world loved the gym, right? Everybody would be healthy, right? Mm-hmm. And I think maybe I've just came to terms that I hate the gym. However, I know that the lifestyle that I want starts here, right? Yeah. Because it's much bigger than just, you know, stepping to the gym and doing a few workouts. It's more so, how do I sustain a longer life to impact the people around me? Because that's the real journey right there. Mm-hmm. Because the longer I live, the longer I get to be able to impact others. That's how I see it. It's kind of strange in a different way, right?
That makes sense. It's bigger picture journey than maybe what I was talking about, and that makes more sense. Yeah. For me, the lifestyle thing really resonates. You know, you always hear like, make it a lifestyle change, which probably sounds cliche at this point, but it really is a lifestyle change. I've yo-yoed in weight most of my adult life. I've struggled with binge eating in the past.
Bro, I saw you shared me a picture. I wish we could share this picture. I mean, you look fabulous.
Thank you. I got more work to do, but thank you. Yeah, I was about probably 80 pounds heavier at one point than I am now. And forever I would lose 30 pounds and then fall off the wagon and gain 40, and then lose it again and gain it back. And it's a cycle. And I finally, a couple of years ago, got out of that cycle by focusing on the lifestyle change. I was always like the short term, dieting or short term exercise programs, whatever it is. It was never a long term lifestyle change. And for me, what helped was just, I actually did this year, was figuring out what I need to do daily, what I need to do weekly, and then what I need to do monthly to be the person I want to be physically. And like weekly, just real quick, is like 100 ounces of water I need to drink every day, 10,000 steps, 8 hours of sleep ideally, and try to stay within 2,000 calories right now because I'm cutting, losing weight. So trying to stay at that calorie deficit, and then 170 grams of protein a day too is the other thing, because that's my goal weight. So that's what I need to do every single day. And then weekly is grocery shop and, make sure I have healthy groceries that are high protein, and lift weights 4 days a week is what I do. Monthly, I don't really have anything. I weigh myself once a month just to kind of track where I'm at. But for me, it's more about how I look and feel versus some kind of number on the scale. I use the number to track, but it's not that important to me.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's funny? I never did any of it. What I did was I just looked at the best looking shape guys in the gym, right? Mm-hmm. And one of them happened to just be my fraternity brother. And once I asked him what he did in terms of workouts and eating, then I started incorporating those things in my diet, which actually plays a real good point of the people you hang around with, right? Yes. It's, if you really want to achieve anything, is the people around you who have already been successful and who have already defined themselves probably most likely have all the answers, unless they're like taking steroids, right? Right. I don't do that, right? However, I'm willing to go ask him questions and ask him the things that I need to do to be able to have a healthier shape. And my goal is also not to really build like a bodybuilder. It's just I really just want to be able to look. I could look in that guy in that mirror and say, that guy looks sexy. I get that. I wish I can put the song by, what's his name? I'm too sexy for my clothes, So physically, what I'm doing every day, and I think what just helped me think about the journey of taking care of myself, which I do every day, is just, what is the lifestyle that I want at the end of the outcome, right? I'm like, the outcome of my life, what is the lifestyle? What does it look like at the age of 80? Am I still working out? Yes. I still want to be in the gym. I still want to be able to build strength. I still want to be able to run miles, right? I still want to be able to do that. And I keep that in mind consistently, I think. And along the journey, it remains consistent. It's not necessary. I don't think the physical health is not, the gym is not the journey, right? The gym is not the journey.
True.
Gym is just is part of the obstacle, right? To your ultimate lifestyle, right?
Explain that.
Does that, because I'm breaking it down, because if you're going to the gym, the gym is the challenge, because you're working out. You have to challenge yourself to push these weights, to have the lifestyle that you want physically, right? There's no, also your eating, of course, what you eat too matters. I think it's more important than going to the gym. Yeah. But to really define yourself, plus the eating, plus the discipline, requires you to go through these obstacles of pushing yourself through weights in a way to develop the physical lifestyle that you want for yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And
Okay.
To your point, like exercise is only like a part of the equation because there's also nutrition, which is eating and drinking water.
And taking vitamins.
Yes. And sleep is the third component that
Uh-huh.
a lot of people underrate.
Yeah.
Maybe some people in this room.
I do sleep.
Allegedly.
I try to sleep. You know what? I'll be honest. All right. This is me being vulnerable. I sleep probably like 4 or 5 hours. I don't know. It's just been my natural state. I've been able to go to bed at probably 11, 12 and just wake up at 5 a.m. with no alarm. Right? And I can't sleep past 7. However, this past month, I've been sleeping into 10.
Nice.
I slept into 10. Like, I think I'm taking a hiatus and just taking a break because I felt like I was kind of burnt out, right? Yeah. I was kind of burnt out, but not burnt out. I'm still doing work, but I just feel a little bit better to like just relax and just take care of myself and be recharged for next year. So yeah, I don't sleep.
How do you feel on those nights that you do get 4 to 5 hours of sleep? Do you feel recharged? Do you feel like...
I feel like normal. Yeah. I feel recharged. I can drink a cup of coffee. As long as I have my goals and my plans made, I think that's what it is too, right? It's because my day is already planned for the next day. I typically write a list of things that I have to do. And those things for me it's like I have to head toward those things and execute those things. And as long as that's in my mind being operated, I'm constantly executing, right? My daily task, either be it for work or either be it personal, right? So, yeah, I don't know if I haven't had a challenge with, when I go see the doctors, they don't say I have high blood pressure, no high cholesterol. I do all my blood work every year. So I haven't had any like health challenges. Knock on wood. I think this leather is probably made out of it's not made out of wood, but God, I have no wood. Okay, but knock on wood over there on the chair. But yeah, I think I need to do better though. I definitely need to do better.
Well, I'll tell you, I sleep 8 hours a night most nights, and I still hit a wall about 2, 3 in the afternoon where I just get so sleepy. Or even now, we're recording this at night. I was yawning,
yes.
an hour ago, and it's not like I went and ran a marathon today. My job is sedentary. I'm behind a computer most days.
Interesting.
Maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's because I'm not as active during the day. If I'm not walking or if I'm not working out, like today, I was just behind my computer most of the day. So maybe that has something to do with it. But the quality of sleep is obviously important. And even if I get 8 hours, but it's not good quality, then obviously it's not going to be as effective as someone who gets maybe 4 to 5 hours of good quality sleep is better than 8 hours of poor quality sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Those 4 hours are detrimental. Like for me, I'm like, even if I do take naps, like I'll take a nap, I'll take like a quick 30-minute nap. Like I'll just doze off real quick and then get back to life and feel recharged.
Yeah.
Coffee. I do coffee probably at 2 o'clock, at 3, 2 o'clock at 3, because that's when I start feeling, when I do feel tired is when I typically take coffee.
Okay.
Or I take a nap. So one of those two options happens during those times. Yeah. So what's the second one?
Yeah. Second one is emotional health.
Emotional health. Oh my gosh. I feel like we're about to be on this one forever, man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They're all important.
Super important.
Emotional/mental health.
Emotional/mental health. Wow. I don't know where even to begin. Emotionally, man. All right. I think I'll be honest. This year, I've been feeling a little bit depressed. Let me stop playing a little bit depressed. I've been feeling depressed. And I think it's just because, being out here alone, not with family and friends, And I'm about to get kind of spiritual too. I feel that I have something to complete in this world. I got to do. And sometimes the feeling of not feeling like I'm close to that destination, it actually makes me, or when I'm not feeling like I'm reaching those goals, it makes me feel, um, it makes me feel sad. You know, it makes me feel, I feel sometimes alone, right? And then on top of that, emotionally, when you're dating out here, dating is also an emotional roller coaster. And I have a tough skin. However, nowadays women are a little bit different. You know, it makes it hard to communicate. I mean, let me say, not it's okay. Some women make it hard to be able to communicate because they play games, right? And when you get emotionally kind of like involved with someone, it also adds on to the other emotional stuff that is going on in your life. That, you know, because you and I are two busy guys. We have, you know, a job that keeps us busy. We make a certain level of dollars that, you know, in a way where we are having to create impact at our companies in a very significant way, at corporate companies. And sometimes, you know, when dealing with people externally, like dating, for instance, when you're going out and it doesn't turn out the way we would like to expect because of lack of communication, sometimes that could be emotionally, that can have, that is an emotional roller coaster. So all of those things are like baggages, you know, to feeling depressed. However, I think what has helped me the most now, in terms of, you know, about the work that I'm doing and about my goals and reaching for my goals is, I think we kind of touched on it last week. I've been able to, and I started this in October, I've been able to start listing out all the things that I do daily, right? Because I feel like, once again, I feel like I don't feel like accomplished, but when I started writing all of these things down that I do daily, and it starts accumulating, and then you're seeing like, bro,
Yeah.
you're doing a lot. You need to give yourself some grace.
That's the word I use a lot with my people I coach is grace. And I like to look back a lot on what they have accomplished. Like right now, one of my groups is going through the Dream Manager program, is 7 months in. So they're a little past the halfway point because it's a 1 year program. And when they hit that 6 month mark, we kind of took a journey back and saw like all the growth they made in those 6 months. Cause most of us are always looking ahead, right? We're always looking at what's next. And that's why I talk about like the destination. Like we'll hit a destination and then there's a new journey or a new challenge ahead of us, always something else we want to accomplish. And we don't really take the time to really look back and appreciate how far we've come and where we were versus where we are now. And we're still thinking about like what else we have left to accomplish. And that journey never ends. Like there's always going to be more stuff we want to accomplish. So it is important to look back and be grateful and have grace for yourself and just be proud of your accomplishments, because most people don't really take the time to honor that.
That deserves that definitely deserves that right
You're getting
there.
good on the buttons.
Yeah.
Someone's been practicing.
Yeah, you know, I'm a DJ too. So, but you're right. I've started taking account. You have to start taking account of your day-to-day actions. And I've also gotten a little bit, how would you say, meticulous about it. I now have separated my days between personal, work, business, right? And now I'm very good at Excel spreadsheets. So I got a whole Excel spreadsheet. And then I also put it down to level of priorities, right? And then after the level of priorities, I have start date. I have the date that I inputted this thing at. And then I also put the estimated date that I would like to complete it at, right? And then I will also have the date I actually completed it at. And then I will also have notes based off what challenge transpired. Because now what I could start doing is going back to things that were let's say a level 1 priority that I thought in my head is going to take forever. Because it's like sometimes we take too long on our priorities, or we, what's the word I'm looking for? We're lackadaisical when it comes to completing our task, right? And I'm like, I think in my head that this challenge is going to take me forever. But when I did it, it took me 30 minutes. It took me or this email that I thought, when I started doing it, I'm like, wait, this email took me about 5 minutes to do. But in my head, it's like, typing this email out is going to take me like 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
But when I did it, and when I start now looking at some of these inputs that I'm doing, now I could just look back. I'm like, that's not hard. That's not hard. Now that's not a level 1 because it's a level 2. Now my level 1s are not level 2s. Now my level 1s are now level 2s that I thought were difficult tasks to complete. Like sometimes I'll be like, let me call my mom, let me put that on there. Because sometimes I need to have these reminded on my calendar and schedule call with mom. Those I thought, were hard tasks. But once I see it and then I get it done, I forgot the last part. I give myself a cookie for every task I complete. I do.
Or Chips Ahoy?
No, it's these cookies from Whole Foods.
Didn't you say Chips Ahoy last
No,
episode?
it's the size of Oreo cookies.
Oh, size of Oreos, but it's not actually Oreos.
Yeah, it's just like a chocolate chip cookie.
Whole Foods.
We're promoting Whole Foods now.
We need a sponsor. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the colors on and everything.
I got the colors on. Well, today's podcast is sponsored by Psych.
The chocolate chip cookies.
The chocolate chip cookies. The chocolate chip cookies got this done today.
That's right. He's fueled off chocolate chip cookies.
So that's how now emotionally, now I'm now accounting for the my day-to-day tasks, not so I won't feel this level of depression that I'm not achieving my goals. Because once again, it's in the journey. This entire thing is about the journey. And if we don't recognize it's a journey, we're just going to be going and not feeling or not recognizing or giving ourselves grace that we should be appreciating the flowers that we are creating, right? Or that we're building, right? Because you want to be able to, I also want to be able to share this with people, probably my kids, so they can know, take your time, and they can see all the tasks that I completed. I'm going to pass this down. I'm going to pass this data down. I'm not going to pass you money. I'm not going to give you money. I'm going to give you this roadmap. So you know that this is how you live.
Have you seen Dave Chappelle's latest stand-up on Netflix?
Oh, don't judge me. I should have.
You need to watch it.
Oh, shoot.
He actually heard this joke. I heard this live in St. Louis when he was with Chris Rock, but he says it on the special too. He's talking about how he put if I'm going to butcher this, but
Okay,
if
good.
he told his wife, if anything ever happens to him, then go to the bank. There's a lockbox at the bank and just go, check out that lockbox when if I'm gone or whatever.
Yeah.
And basically it's just his joke book.
Yes. Yes.
And this is, I can't tell.
It's his joke book of jokes.
Yeah. And she's like,
what the heck I'm going to do with this thing?
Yeah. But he's like, this is what makes me $1 million. It's like, you just, you got to do it. Yeah. It's a lot funnier when he says it. But,
oh, no. I get it. I get it. So no, I mean, and that's really it, right? Like, I mean, because I realize you could give someone money, but they could just burn it and not appreciate anything that they've gotten. Right.
He's like, just tell these jokes and you'll be rich. Tell these jokes like I do.
Right.
And you'll be rich. That's what he says.
I mean, you got video. If Dave Chappelle was my father and he gave me the jokes and then I saw all his stand up.
Yeah.
It's a win. I'm going to go out to the nearest local stand-up comedy show, which they got a whole bunch out here.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can make a fool of yourself and work your way up. Yep. Right? That's what I would do. Well, Dave Chappelle, if you give me that lockbox, I'll go make millions tomorrow.
Exactly.
Anyways, yeah. So in terms of that part of mentally, emotionally, like, I mean, from an emotional standpoint, that's how I'm attacking now in this part of my journey in terms of being able to account for that. As far as the relationships, with women, because I'll be honest, here's the thing, right? Dating, I don't have a challenge dating. I don't have a challenge dating women. I don't have a challenge encountering women, right? I feel like I've been in places where women are like attracted to me, right? And the thing is, I feel like when they get to know me, right, that I'm really a nerd. I'm really someone who likes to like be very like creative, spend my time reading, writing. I write poetry. It's like I like drinking coffee and then like listening to like music, like jazz music, Fela Kuti. I could go on, but I would like do things like that to like open my mind up. I would connect. You and I would talk. Like that's like really me. And then next thing you know, I'll go out dancing one moment and go to like Afro beats and like dance to my culture. Right? It's kind of like I have this like, I don't know what it is. It's
very diverse interest and curiosity, maybe.
Yeah. And I'm not sure. It makes it hard for someone to either accept all of that, right? And then I don't stay next to my phone. I don't like texting, right? I'm not a texter. Your best bet is to call me, right? And I'm never like in a rush to be like in a like I'm taking my time, right? So I don't know. And then I find out that I feel like when they find out these things about me, right? It's like, I actually just like your initial presence and everything, but not the detail that you built for yourself. Mind you, I make really great, I work really hard. I travel for work and I don't know. But I don't like to sell those things. I don't like to say, oh, I make 6 figures and I dress in suits all day. I do, but I don't know. Like, I don't want to come off. I don't want to show up as that guy because I don't think that guy is just the business guy. And that's not me all the time.
Yeah,
right?
You want someone that loves all sides of you.
Yes.
Have you gotten this feedback from a woman before, or is this just your perception and from your experience? Is this a story you're telling yourself, or
it's the perception because I think it's the perception because I feel like every time I've been in a relationship, I'm all business. I'm all talking about business. I'm all talking about let's create an empire. And I don't think women, I mean, maybe, like, I don't know if they want that for themselves. I'm not sure because that's what I like to do. I like to build, like building this podcast. Like I used to have a clothing line and I, built that, like building things. Right. And I just don't want to ever like lose track of that because I think maybe it's the women I've dated. Right. Maybe that's that. And I haven't really looked into that. Maybe there's a deeper cause, a root cause.
I think the right woman will value that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
to admire that and respect it and want to be on that journey with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you experienced this? Like, cause I feel like, maybe it's me and I could go deeper actually from a vulnerable standpoint, but I want to hear your take. Right. Because I know I can't be the only one experience these things. Right.
No, you're not. But I feel like I have almost a reverse problem where maybe my first impression isn't the best with new women in my life. I kind of have like a quirky personality. Takes a while for me to open up to people. And so I feel like once, not all women, but once, some women get to know me more, they tend to be more interested or attracted to me once they understand who I am at my core, how I am. But I feel like my first impression isn't always the best. It takes a while for people to kind of understand me, who I am, if that makes sense.
And does that affect you emotionally?
It does. Because I want my normal, like goofy, silly, caring, empathetic self to come out at the beginning. I want to make a good first impression because I feel like there's probably missing some opportunities with some women that I'm interested in because of that first impression not being the best. So I want to be like, maybe it's just me being more comfortable in my own skin with new people. Maybe it's like some social anxiety and new, not relationships, but meeting new people. Maybe I have some social anxiety there that I've trying to overcome and be more natural, be more myself at the beginning, which has been a challenge for me.
Yeah. 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 I think me too. Right. And also I think, like you said it, I think I have my thing is also I have a very diverse, oh my gosh. Right. I grew up, let me take that back. Born in Atlanta, moved to Nigeria. My dad was a disciplinarian. My dad had a British accent, believe it or not. And then he was very strict. He always used to wear suits. And then I lived in Newark, and it's the hood. Like, like my language changed actually. When I talk to people from the hood, like it's a little bit different. I have this Jersey accent. I can have like a New York accent real quick. But yeah, and then after that, then I have my corporate world, right? Then I have to like, I don't get, it's so much that I have to like do it. And then I have to have conversations with either my leadership, I have to have conversation with my directors, and those have to be concise and to the point. And then there's like outside of all of that, and then my culture, my Nigerian culture, I have to talk a different way. I have to be able to talk to my mom. How about you? Like I have like so many different, and then I could put the accent on with my dad, and then we would have like, and then when I'll go out, and sometimes it will just come out like I don't even know why, but it just reminds me of my father because my father used to talk so clear. But anyways, my thing is that I have all of these diverse upbringings because I've traveled and been around in different arenas, in different environments. And it makes it so hard to like, I don't know if people ever get to understand me, but that is like my world when you're so, diverse. I know
which is, I think is an attractive quality. I think most women would feel like that's an attractive quality.
You think, man? Then shoot.
Well, like you said, maybe you're dating the wrong women that don't value it.
Yes.
Or they don't know how to, like, maybe they feel like they're not getting the full you. Like, does that make sense?
Yes. I don't think they feel like that. I've heard that, right?
Not seeing you
at your
core.
They're not seeing me at my core, but I don't know. Like I'm trying to figure out, how am I supposed to show up, right?
Do you feel that you know yourself to your core? Like you're
Oh, I do.
comfortable with who you are and your
Man,
identity?
I love to go dance. I
Yeah.
love to go read. And I love um I'm very competitive. That's just who I am at nature. Um, you know, and pff, I'm not gonna lie. I am a lover boy at heart, right? That's just it. I don't know what else to say, but
Which was a surprise to me when I met you this year, that you said that. I didn't get that vibe from you when I first met you, you said that.
I am a lover boy, but at the same time, that doesn't mean unless like I'm in a like relationship, I'm dating,
Yeah.
right? But you brought up a good point. Maybe I do know myself, and it's just that I'm also not willing to also quickly share everything, and I take my time because I think for me it's more so about building trust with someone. When you're on a journey, it's about, can I trust this person? If I want to be in a relationship, are they patient? Right? And nowadays I don't see some of these women are not patient. They want to rush. They want and I don't try to lead them on, all right? I go with the ebbs and flows,
Especially now that we're getting older, you're in your mid 30s, I'm in my later 30s.
Yeah.
Women our age are probably feeling some pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe
kids.
I don't truly, yeah, they probably are, but I also don't truly understand that sometimes because I'm not a woman. And sometimes maybe they need to explain that to me, right? Like what's your timeline, right? But sometimes they don't have those conversations, right?
Yeah.
So the next thing for me is just like I'm gonna take my time, like because I have a plan for myself. Like I know where I want to go. I want to be married, but I'm not going to jeopardize my future based on the impatience or someone who may lack patience, and also someone who I don't know yet, because I have to see if they're able to make decisions. And if they don't, it's not gonna some of the qualities or the characteristics that I'm seeing lets me know this is not the person, because I have to choose someone to love as also choose someone to take care of the babies while I'm taking care of the house, while I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to do. So, having this gap and this journey has been an emotional roller coaster, especially dating, because sometimes I don't feel, I don't feel like I'm wanted, right, for who I am. I do feel wanted when women are attracted to me, but I feel like half the time it could be superficial, right? And I'm not really with the superficialness, right?
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes they want that. Some of the women might want that. They want to get married. They want to get the nice car. They want to do that. And I get it, right? And I want to be able to provide that. However, I got to be able to see if you can make basic decisions.
Yeah.
Then I could be like, you know what? Green light, next level, right? She got my green light, and maybe I'll start buying her nice things. Maybe I'll start buying her some Gucci flip flops. But I'm not gonna make that investment early on. I'm not a player. I ain't no trick. I am not doing any of those things. I am not that guy. Because my money is going towards my investments. Anyways, it's crazy. It's crazy out here.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Yeah. How do you seek out the right women for you then, knowing this information?
Man.
How do you weed them out? How do you find
how do I do that? Man, I don't think I'm
turn into a therapy session or life coaching session.
Man, I'm not good at that. I'm just not. I'm not good at that because I also realized from a vulnerable standpoint, I think I choose women because they've come to me. I think you've been in situations where you've seen when we're outside and women are attracted, right? However, it's like, how do I how do I keep this going, right? How do I like keep this like, and she's entertained. I mean, she sees what she sees, but how do I keep it going? You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I try to make sure that I'm at least present to the person that is interested in me. But anyways, yeah, like I think it's very tough though, man. It's tough. It's tough. We've been in situations where I think women have been attracted, and after their attraction is up, I feel like, you know, do they want more? Do they want more of this? You know? So anyways.
But you've got you are the total package, right? You have a great job. You are very thoughtful and caring and considerate, and again, creative, and a lot of interests and hobbies, and good friend group, diversity of background. Like, I feel like you have all the ingredients that they do want. I don't know what they'd be missing out on, or
I don't, I try not to. The thing is, I try not to think about all the things I offer. I think more so when I talk to someone, or I'm talking to a woman. I think the original question was around where am I meeting these women, right? Or how, or so, like the groups that I'm in, right? Like, am I attracting the right ones, right? Like, maybe I'm choosing the wrong ones in the wrong places. Somebody told me maybe, finding them at the club is not the one that's not going to be the one for you. Maybe you need to find the one going to a seminar, right?
Yeah.
Right. But I like to go to the club. I don't go to the club to go bag women. I don't go to the club to go talk to women. I go to the club to listen to music. I have a love for music, and then also DJ. I like to listen to how DJs transition. Like, so half the time I'm not going to the club to go like club. It's just to listen. And then it just happens that there's a girl in there, right? And the next thing you know, it's like, this is where I'm finding the women. Maybe I need to change that dynamic, right? Maybe no more women in the club, none.
Yeah, but you go to workout classes. I know you have women there.
Workout classes,
other community events, like other things, other hobbies that you do around people. That's a great way to meet women that
it
might be more
it
in line
is
with your values, or might have the same once out of a relationship as you do. What is, going back to the highest level here, what is your goal with women, dating, relationships? What are you looking for right now?
I want to build a partnership. I think I want to build a partnership with someone who's on the journey, right? Someone who's understanding that I'm also willing to hustle. I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to let's build this empire together, right? Because you just, nothing is fully full, right? No one fully has everything. But I'm also willing to say, hey, let's combine our resources to get things together. Does that mean I take leadership? Yes, I don't mind doing that. But that also takes someone, it depends, right? Because it also talks about, if you could talk about traditional relationship or modern relationship, it's two different. I'm more so of the traditional sense, right? And, I don't mind, my wife or whoever I'm going to be with be at home, right? As long as I could be able to focus on the things that I could be able to focus on in order to be able to provide. But, I think nowadays a lot of, some women probably want a lot of the modern part as well as the traditional simultaneously. And I don't think you can have both, right? But with that, those are the type of women on this journey I'm not going to say I'm looking, right? But I do want to attract. I do want to be able to attract the right individual, or the right woman in my life. But yeah, what about you?
Well, before we go to me, just want to recap. So you said the intention out loud is you want to have a partnership with someone who's also on the journey.
Yeah.
Have you stated that intention to yourself before? Or have you stated it to yourself out loud before?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I tell, like, half the time when I'm speaking with, women, right?
Yeah.
Like that I'm, let's say I'm potentially dating. I'm like, hey, this is what I have. This is what this is what I've done. This is where I am. I move around a lot for work, right? My company, where I do, like, I move around, and you're willing to come for the ride, right? Yeah, like, I have these conversations. I know what I want to do within my company. I also want to inform you what I want to do outside of the company, right? Like this podcast, right? I have other things in the works. Do you want to be a partner? You want to play ball? Play.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? How's the dating scene?
It's interesting out here in Scottsdale.
It is.
I have been here since March of this year, and I've spent most of my time really focusing on me. Had a lot of transition in my life this year with a new city, new job, met new friends out here. So a lot of this year has been focused on my personal growth, and I haven't spent too much time on dating. The time that I have spent on it has not been a big success.
Yeah. Thank you for being honest.
Yeah, of course. And I guess that you to define success, which I'm kind of like you. I'm ready to find a partner for life, and someone to build a life together. So I'm kind of dating with that intention as well. And I haven't put myself out there too much, to be honest. And when I have, like, it just met some good people, nice women, but nothing really of a long-term connection or anything like that. So it's been a little slow to start, but
what has been the biggest challenge is when dating?
Well, I think for me personally, I think it goes back to what I was sharing earlier about, like,
emotionally.
Not giving off the best first impression probably is like kind of me being more closed off or not being completely comfortable myself at the beginning.
And do they let you know that that's what that is, or like you said, is it perception or is it?
Yeah, that's me saying it. You're right. Yeah, it's me saying that. Like, I've not gotten that feedback or anything like that. I think the biggest challenge also has been just haven't put myself out there enough. I've tried the dating apps, but I hate the dating apps.
Dating apps suck.
Yes, I hate them. That's pretty much the only route I've gone to dating since I've been here. And next year, 2025, my intention is to go out and meet women in person, at events or wherever, meet people in social settings versus relying on the apps, because I've been on the apps on and off for years and never really had any meaningful relationships out of it. Besides one, I had one back when I lived in South Carolina briefly, but other than that, I've not had any meaningful relationships out of online dating. It's just convenient. It's easy. It's there, but it's not helping me toward my goal of finding my person. So I want to put myself out there, try more hobbies, try different things. Like this year, I joined a kickball league, as you know, and an improv comedy class, which they're both fun, but didn't really, find anybody to date there. But that's the thing, is you try different things, you meet different people, and you never know where that connection is going to happen. So I need to put myself out there more in 2025 and beyond to really meet people.
Maybe because I have this thing, right? You correct me if I'm wrong. If you haven't seen it from your perspective about me, I feel as though that working on myself shifted the way women have been attracted to me.
Tell me more.
Meaning I don't have to be out everywhere. I've just been working on myself. I get the attraction part.
Mm-hmm.
It's just maybe it's me. maybe I just don't like this girl, right? And maybe I'm like, she's not the one, right?
Yeah.
I already saw things and red flags and nah, you know? But I went in the attraction part, and I've realized that the more I've gotten in shape, the more I've acquired more knowledge, the more I focused on my career, the more attraction that women have been able to see without me having to say much.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what women want is a guy that's working on themselves, that's believes in personal growth and is successful on his own. She doesn't want to be filling a void in his life. She wants to be a supplement. I think maybe that's some women might want to be like that guy that's a project, fix him up. But I think a lot of mature women want a guy that is also mature and is working on his physical health and his emotional health and intellectual growth, all those things. Like is focusing on those things. I think most women find that attractive when a guy is developing himself. And has goals and has big aspirations for himself. Yeah.
So maybe part of the journey is not going out more.
Well, it's continue to work on myself. Yeah.
I think for me next year, I'm zeroing in. I really want to zero in on myself because I realize I create the most impact when I work on myself. You know, that this part of this journey right now is challenging yourself because it's not their journey, right? I feel like the more we try to put ourselves out there, we water down ourselves. That's how I see it. I might be wrong about this, but I realize when I try to put it's so much energy, right?
Yeah.
Rather than, all right, I'm going to focus on my physical health, my mental health, and my emotional state of being. So when I show up, people can naturally feel that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they will see it because you have already accepted and loved yourself.
Yeah, which you have to do. Well, you don't have to do to get a relationship.
Yeah.
But to have a healthy relationship, you need to love yourself.
Yeah.
And work on yourself. And yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. I got my personal growth journey will continue. I just mean I need to get out of my small circle of friends.
Oh yeah.
I meet new women and put myself out there in environments. I don't mean like going out to like bars and.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, I might meet somebody at a bar. I'm not rolling it out, but I'm just
hang
saying,
out with guys.
Around.
Hang out with guys.
Well, guys too. Yeah.
You hang out with guys. I feel like for me, I've always growing up. I've hung out with guys who hung out with some billionaires. I met. Trust me, I hung out with my boys in the hood. Like I like hanging around guys because it's just there's no worries, right?
Yeah.
But I've also read this book. I forgot the name of it. It was a book that I read, but it also let me know that don't go out chasing women.
Yeah.
You know, don't. And I just stopped that completely.
I've been guilty of it for sure.
Sometimes I just want to be around guys and just have guys night and go for drinks and just go talk BS, right? And have a good time and not think about women because I feel like that's always I always feel
Dominates
like
our thoughts. Yeah.
I feel like that's always the topic of the conversation, right? And I'm like, you know what? That's not it. The only reason we talk about, I feel like I need to talk about sometimes with women is emotionally because sometimes I do get hurt. I'm just saying it does hurt when women break your heart.
Yep.
And they step on it in a million pieces. And then they put that in a lawnmower and they roll over it, right? And then it comes out and then you have to be the one to pick up all these little pieces.
That's right.
And then you put it all back together with the tweezer. And like, I had to put this back.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what I've appreciated about that is that I put the heart back together.
Yeah.
I did.
You came back.
And now, guess what? Anytime it breaks, I could quickly put it back together.
Yeah.
less than the time than before.
Exactly.
Emotionally. So it's an emotional journey. We do get hurt. Men do get hurt. We're not, we're not dogs, right? That's what they call us. They also have, men are bullshit. All men are bullshit. What is it? All men are something.
How many times have I heard you say I'm a dog? You called yourself a dog so many times.
I mean, I think we're all sort of dogs.
Yeah.
I am
teasing. Yeah.
I am what type of dog am I? If I was to put one, not a border collie. Oh my gosh. I would say a Doberman.
Yeah, I've heard that. You've said that before.
I'm a Doberman.
Yeah.
I'm very well trained. I got a lot of bite, but it's I'm well trained, well trained, top tier. I'm a blue collar Doberman, right? Or what they call them, the championship. I'm a championship Doberman.
Yeah, the dog like competition thing.
Yes, I listen, I pay attention, I protect. So hey,
the Westminster Dog Show or whatever. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, you're winning awards.
All men are dogs. No, we're not. Because if we were, I feel like we would get treated better. Actually,
that's true.
Right? We would get way treated better if we're all dogs, and if that was an actual sentence, if you really think about it, because how many dogs that I see out here that are being taken care of, you will pick up my poop.
Yep.
Right? Shoot. And I don't see that happening, okay? But yeah, like from an emotional standpoint, to bring it all full circle, I feel like I knew we was not going to go talk through this whole entire list.
We made it to 2.
Right. But to get through all of this, right? Physically, right? Physically, and part of the journey is making sure that you understand. I feel as though it's understand what the bigger goal is, right? Understand what that looks like, what that feels like, right? And also backtracking, because I do that, right? I backtrack, meaning I also talk to others. I get information. So I wouldn't make the same mistakes because all the answers are there, right? Because if I didn't talk to my friend who worked out, who already went through the journey to building, I would probably have taken a longer route, which is totally fine. But there are answers that are already there, right? For us to know. So part of the journey is looking at, I feel like, not falling in love with not falling in love, but knowing, all right, there is an outcome, right? Of what I want, right? Of a lifestyle that I want. And what is that going to look like, right? And what I would say for me is just not falling in love, fall in love with the journey, but at the same time, understand the obstacles, the challenges that may be ahead if you can, right? Because the more you are aware of those challenges earlier in advance, the less mistakes you can make. Because you're going to run into mistakes anyway, right? Yeah. But if you could save you a few mistakes, that's less headache, right? So part of the journey, and I guess from a physical standpoint, is just staying on track, being able to incorporate the people around you for, to be able to work out, to reach your end goal, whatever your end goal, whatever you want to look like, whatever you want to, be like, whatever you want to feel like, what does that look like at the end? And then be able to backtrack to be able to start your journey, right? How many calories I got to watch out for? What type of food that I have to eat? What type of nutrition? How many times I have to go to the gym weekly, right? Because that's what I'm doing right now. I want to bulk up just a little bit, and by next year, and just be, next 6 months, just be in very good condition. So that's how I see it, right? Yeah. Anything else on physical?
Yeah, you said it. You just reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
Our owner of my company says it all the time. Just what's the end game? Which physical health is a little tricky because it's a continuous thing.
It is.
You know, it's not one where you hit your goal and then you're just done. You don't have to worry about physical health anymore. All these areas are actually areas you never stop growing in until you die.
Yeah.
And that's where, again, the journey really matters, because there's really almost no destination in some of these things if you think about it from a long-term perspective, a lifetime perspective. But yeah, reverse engineer the person you want to be. Like, you know, they say to talk and act and just embody the person you want to be now. You don't have to wait till you have the results.
Yeah.
You know, talk like you're a millionaire if you want to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
And what would what decisions would you make? Things like that.
Yes.
Make them now.
Yes.
Not financial decisions. If you don't have $1 million,
of course,
don't spend $1 million. But just
don't go out there. Don't go out there faking
spend money you don't have. Yeah. But just embody the mindset of the person you want to be now. You don't have to wait until you get to where you want to be.
Yes, because you start making different types of decisions.
Yeah.
I feel like we just scratched the surface with a lot of these conversations. And then lastly, it was just the mental, and the emotional health, right? I think talking about it, being able to comfortable speaking on what, emotionally, what challenges people face, right? Because I feel as though that's the best answer. I think there's a commonality with both of these, right? Mm-hmm. Being able to communicate, because there's something that you probably went through, once again, that you may have felt that I can know about what you feel that can help me along my journey. Mm-hmm. Although we have separate journeys, knowing that information can be able to help me get through whatever I'm feeling at that point of time, right? And sometimes I may not want to listen and just go on my journey. So I think when it comes to emotions, being able to speak with someone professionally about it, mm-hmm. I feel like having challenges with, feeling accepted by women, right? Mm-hmm. That's common, right? But I feel that I see a lot of men struggle through that, And I think we don't do a lot of the accounting of being able to reflect on our feelings.
Yeah.
And we tend to just react rather than be able to process those feelings.
And we just go through the same cycles mentally, emotionally over and over. And I saw you kind of doing a hand gesture as if you're writing.
Yeah.
It's a great tool that I don't do often enough, is journaling and writing out your thoughts, because it just helps. Same with like therapy and coaching, just getting the thoughts out of your head and sharing them verbally, sharing them written. And is equally as important. Just getting them out of your head on paper or out to someone else.
Let me tell you.
So powerful.
I'm a poet behind the scenes. I don't think I've really shared that. I write, when I've got my heart broken, I was sad. And then I allowed my heart to break into little pieces. And that was a poem that I wrote, because I knew the pain it felt like. Mm-hmm. And writing it, I could still remember the time that I felt that pain that I've written on paper. But I transferred that energy into something else.
Yeah.
I transferred that feeling to not stay inside of me, into a story that now I can also look back on and said, I felt that. This is what I felt when this happened. Mm-hmm. That's what that writing does. And people, I think that's why I've been able to get over things more quickly, because I've been able to talk about how dark it feels.
Yeah.
Rather than keep this darkness inside.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, that's what I love about life coaching is, as a coach, my job is to be completely dedicated in your world during our sessions. So, usually when normal people are having conversations, we're bouncing back and forth. You're talking about you, I'm talking about me, back and forth. But in like a coaching session, I'm all in your world. I'm not talking about me unless there's something that I can relate to from my experience to help them. It's all about them. And so just being able to dive deep into their challenges and ask the questions and understand the language they're using and the words they're using towards themselves. It's just such a powerful thing. And like, I'm not trying to sell life coaching, but I know a lot of people don't understand what it is. And it's really hard to understand what it is unless you've actually been through a session. But
Yeah.
just having someone that's dedicated to listen to you
Yeah.
and ask you questions to help you rethink, to articulate those thoughts,
Yeah.
to shift your perspective. Sometimes this little shift in your mindset can change your whole world.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
a little shift.
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like the bulldozer, right? That bulldozer has this whole entire arm,
Mm-hmm.
but there's one little piece that you put in between that bulldozer that holds this whole entire bulldozer.
Yeah.
It's a pin that holds this whole entire, because if you remove the pin
Yeah.
from the angle, I don't know what they call this particular part of the bulldozer, but once you remove that pin, the bulldozer will fall.
Yeah.
Right? So that one little shift and change can make a whole difference in the way we show up. So it's key. Yeah, life coaching is key. But anyways, we are at time. I feel like we could go on for days, right? Like
Yeah,
we go on for days. So welcome to Dare to Journey. We're leaving this. Peace out. Okay. But on that note, I want to leave with a quote that came to mind. And it's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And he says, "From every person I meet, I learn from them."
You got any sounds for that?
Oh, sounds for that. It's like,
Crickets?
no.
Come on.
No, that was not it. I was such
No
on
respect for Ralph.
I was such on a good roll with that. But
There it is.
there we go. We got it together. But anyways, thank you for joining us today for our second episode. Stay tuned. Please share us, right? We have an Instagram now. We're going to have YouTube. We're going to share all of that later. But just want to say thank you all for tuning in today. But anyway, stay grateful, stay blessed, and dare yourself to live another day. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.